That's opening Afro Culture Center, avec toute la team. Yeah, yeah, Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Si tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Si tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Yeba, 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 yeba. Est-ce que ça va les gars? Est-ce qu'on est content? Yeah. On bouge un peu là, on saute un peu. On saute, on saute, on saute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Le temps, le temps. Yeah, yeah. On est content, we are happy. Parce que Afro Black Culture Center. Yeah, La violence du vent n'enlève pas les taches d'un léopard. Yeba, yeba, yeba. Le temps est une mine d'or les gars. That's opening Afro Culture Center, avec toute la team. Yeah, yeah, Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Si tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Si tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps, le temps est une mine d'or. Yeba, 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 yeba. Est-ce que ça va les gars? Est-ce qu'on est content? Yeah. On bouge un peu là, on saute un peu. On saute, on saute, on saute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Le temps, le temps. Yeah, yeah. On est content, we are happy. Parce que Afro Black Culture Center. Yeah, La violence du vent n'enlève pas les taches d'un léopard. Yeba, yeba, yeba. Le temps est une mine d'or les gars.
Hi, this is June. Oh, my mask is crooked. Look at that. Of course. Oh, and I'm fixing it the opposite way. There we go. So we're here, and it's the second last day. My name is June, and today we have 3 great acts for you. We have John Akpata, who will be coming up later on in the show. We have Emmanuel, who will be coming on next, and we have Wise, who will be performing. And I'll be talking to him later about the center that he has going on and why is he doing this. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to my Black History Month performance live at the Afro Black Cultural Center. And I want you to join this amazing performance and celebrate Black excellence. Thank you. DJ, let's go. Yeah. Buyaka, buyaka, yeah. Ellie Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Buyaka, buyaka, yeah. Man down, they don't open again. Buyaka, buyaka, yeah. Ellie Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Buyaka, buyaka, yeah. Man down, they don't do them again. They use them as stand, they fight for the rights. Next thing we know, bullets fire it. Jack Kennedy die, Remedy and the cry. Nobody knows what that fire is. Booyaka, yeah. Bang bang, they turn you nothing today. Like buses in the bush and I survive every day. 6 feet deep, the system live with for day. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Bang bang, say they know the I'm again. Don't looting non-stop, don't try to start anyway. 6 feet deep, the system live with for day. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Man down, it don't happen again. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Ellie Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Man down, they don't do them again. And them I say no force, profit no use a force. In a peaceful protest, killing ghetto youths. Na Papa God, na fi judge all of us. And no man for himself, not God for all of us. Booyaka, yeah. Guns don't kill, just people killing all day. Mon pay va mal, on m'en find a way. Guns and bullet be the rip and he may. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Hate and jealousy be the order of day. They say the system works, who let it operate? System with discrimination be the rip and he may. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Ellie Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Man down, they don't happen again. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Ellie Sunshine, man, I roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Man down, they don't do them again. It's a shutdown and a lockdown thing. Innocent one, them a go one by one, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody want die, they want go. Nobody want die, we want go. Heaven low. It's a shutdown and a lockdown thing. innocent ones, them a die one by one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nobody want die, we want go. Nobody want die, we want go. Heaven no. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Early sunshine, man, a roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. A man down, it don't happen again. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. Early sunshine, man, a roll in a J. Booyaka, booyaka, yeah. A man down, they don't do him again. Thank you. Yeah, Booyaka goes to talk about gun violence, talks about racial discrimination, talks about systemic racism, and talks about guns and bullets, the impact it has in our community. So yeah, and I did that. It's off my EP, which is soon to be released. I want you all to anticipate that. I got the next track coming for you, Loco. I did this a while back, but it's also gonna be on the EP, and this celebrates Black excellence. Loco, DJ. Ooh, do I don't come again? No. Away they. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. Elle est belle, elle est très mignonne. Now the way you be shaking my candy, rap it go where you mean not. Girl, I dig your style, you didn't make me the banjo. Nyango get me in Kong, say I wanna make you my wajo. You're my sugar, you're my sweetheart, you're my honey, yo. I give you dollar, give you pounds, and give you money, yo. Yeah, man. Now this gonna really make me go low, And for this girl, I sing my motto. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. Baby, follow me, go. Girl, I go follow you, follow you, follow you slow. Anywhere you go, girl, I go follow you, follow you. Even if I no get dough, I no get dough. Say baby girl, I go borrow. If not to push we borrow, yeah man. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. One light I lie, say you must enter my moto. Now this gonna really make me go low. And for this girl I sing my motto. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. One light I lie, say you must follow me, go loco. At the end of the night, say you must follow me, go loco. The way where you sucker, you must follow me, go loco. Today not today, you must follow me, go loco. Follow me, nyango, 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 follow me, go. Thank you. That's a special one, Loco. It talks about the excellence of a black woman and what black excellence is all about. And a beautiful melody of you rhyming with someone you like, you know. Thank you. I'm going to move on to the next track. Rock Your Body. I dropped this one 2021 January, and it's an amazing track which still celebrates the black woman, still celebrates black excellence, still celebrates music and arts as a culture. DJ, Rock Your Body. Let's go. You already know. Tuala don't come again, no. Rock your body, and move your body, move your body. Rock your body, and move your body, move your body. Let go. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. Wanna love you, wanna feel you, wanna squeeze you. Wanna love you, wanna feel you, wanna squeeze you. A picture perfect, paint the perfect picture. Black and beautiful, Miss Independent. I love what I see in the mirror. Your back has a bright future. The way you rock your body while I go with somebody. The things where we are, do me no tell nobody. The way you move your body, I swear go kiss somebody. The things where we are, do me no tell nobody. Whine it, back it up slow. Bensi kiss akagolo, mami. Pull up, bring it down low. It costs my heart, me no tell nobody. Whine it, back it up slow. Bensi kiss akagolo, mami. Pull up, bring it down low. It costs my heart, me no tell nobody. Shorty me no kiss and tell, shorty me no kiss and tell. You know, loving me the belly dancing, loving me the belly dancing. Oh, shorty me no kiss and tell, shorty me no kiss and tell. You know, loving me the belly dancing, loving me the belly dancing. Oh, rock your body, move your body, move your body, and rock your body, move your body, move your body. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. When I love you, when I feel you, when I squeeze you. When I love you, when I feel you, when I squeeze you. Let's keep it between me and you. Nobody but pass you. A rendezvous just for two. Program half past 2. Let's keep it between me and you. Nobody but pass you. A rendezvous just for two. Program half past 2. I rock your body the way you move your body while I go call you police. Move your body while you give me loving, while you give me conji. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I need some loving, somebody to love me. Ooh, you need some loving, somebody to love you. Hey. Rock your body, move your body, move your body. Rock your body, move your body, move your body. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. Girl, I like the way you rock your body, the way you back it up on me, like the way you move your body. Wanna love you, wanna feel you, wanna squeeze you. Wanna love you, wanna feel you, wanna squeeze you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there goes my performance for the night. Thank you all. Thanks for having me. Thank you for enjoying that beautiful melody with me. Anticipate my album coming soon. Thank you.
Welcome back. We're here with Emmanuel. Great job.
Thank you very much.
I knew that you performed. It was my first time seeing you. Your first song. What were you thinking of when you wrote that song?
Oh, Buyaka.
Buika.
Oh, so Buyaka talks about gun violence. So I thought about all the gun violence happening all over the world, and also all the abuse, which is the impact it's having in the community and in my community as well from Cameroon, and the influence it's had to youth as well. So like I was thinking a lot about guns and the impacts of gun violence in the
That's
community.
It's amazing. And your
Thank you.
last song that you performed, you're dancing
Oh,
and
rock your
swinging.
body.
Yes. What was obviously you wanted to dance and get people moving and things like that. When you were writing the song, where were you at?
Oh, so rock your body, it's a happy vibe. It's a good positive vibe. It's a song which brings life. It has energy to it. It has lots of enthusiasm to it. So it's positive. And when you listen to it, when you feel it, it puts you in the mood. It makes you happy. It makes you want to dance. So I was actually in a very happy place when I wrote that.
You could see it, and even the move. Okay, how do you do this move?
Like rock your body, rock your body. Oh yeah.
Like that?
One, I love you. Yeah.
Okay.
You
so
go one,
one,
two,
two,
one,
two.
two. There you go.
There you have it, folks. That's Emmanuel, and I just learned a new dance move. Don't go anywhere because we got John Akpata coming right up next.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, wow, there I am on the monitor and everything. What's up, YouTube? My name's John Akpata. I'd like to show some love and respect to the Ottawa Afro-Black Cultural Center for creating and putting on Black History Ottawa's Music and Arts Festival. So I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I'm privileged to be a part of it. As I said, my name's John Akpata. I'm a spoken word artist. I've been performing in Ottawa for quite some time, and I was just talking with the creator of the festival, Wise, about the name of the cultural center and the name of the festival, you know, like Afro-Black, kind of, I guess, as opposed to Indo-Black or Asian Black, but Afro-Black. And it's funny, during Black History Month, it comes up every year. What does the word black mean, and who does it apply to? And, you know, what is the significance of the word black as opposed to African, as opposed to Afro, as opposed to Negro, and why these words and terms keep on changing and evolving. And I've never really come up with a good answer for that. I kind of take as many hyphens and as many titles as I can and apply them to myself, and hope that, you know, people from certain communities and certain demographics kind of get the message, and that they know that the message is for them and they can be included in the message, and they should not be excluded from the message. So for Black History Month, I say Happy Black History Month, Happy Black Liberation Month, Happy Black Freedom Month, Happy Black Joy Month, Happy Afrofuturism Month, Happy Black is Beautiful Month, and Happy Black Lives Matter Month. For real, Happy Black Lives Matter Month. Happy Black Lives Matter Month. We could go through all the terms and the slogans, and hopefully we'll come to a good conclusion on what Black History Month and Black Lives Matter means. All those things being said, I'm going to jump to some Black history that I'm certain not a lot of Canadians know. A few years ago, was this 2012 or 2013? 2013. So in 2012, two spoken word artists, two writers, two poets, two community leaders, Kevon Cameron, aka Scruffmouth, and Valerie Mason-John, now Dr. Valerie Mason-John, decided that they wanted to put together an anthology of Canadian poetry, Canadian spoken word. And they put the call out to a lot of artists, a lot of writers, a lot of poets, and they decided that they were going to divide the book into two parts. One book would be the page part, so the literary poets from Canada's Black community, and another part would be a stage or performance part, so it would be the spoken word artists and the performance poets from Canada's Black community. And I think that's a fantastic idea. So they put out the call. I was included in the call, and I got to write the intro to the spoken word part, because I've done spoken word for a while, and I've won a couple of awards, and I've put out some significant work. And the biggest problem with the book was the title of the book. The book is called The Great Black North, and this book is the very first poetry anthology of Black Canadian authors ever. From, you know, nothing from the 1990s, nothing from the 80s or 70s or 60s, nothing from the 50s, 40s. Like, really? Like, this is the first anthology of Black Canadian poetry ever in the history of the country ever? Yes. It is. It's never been done before. So Scruffmouth and Valerie Mason-John and everyone that participated in the book made history. We're part of history. We created something that is taught in schools and has been, moved across the country and brought to other countries. So Black History Month isn't just about, going to the library and finding some dusty old history book and learning something new. That's fantastic. That's great. But I want everyone in Canada's Black community to know that you can create things, you can make things, and you can contribute to and make Black history. So in honor of that, I'm going to read Kevon Cameron, a.k.a. Scruff Mouth. I'm going to read the poem that created the idea for the book in the first place. It's called I Am a Claim, Van Rock. On the occasion of the City of Vancouver Black History Month proclamation delivered in City Council chambers January 31st, 2012. I am a claim, stretching forth her hands across continental coastlines, like a maverick reporter conducting timely interviews to be printed in provincial freedom papers across chronologies and cultural spectrums. Like a crimson tide, I ride up over the 49th parallel, shedding flesh like orange peels on the deck of the Commodore. I will not settle for less than those amber valleys and green maple leaves. I ride the rails like George, from the Maritimes of DaCosta to the blues of Terminal City. I smile in the pale face of adversity and sleep with my brothers, dreaming of a land promised to be my own after overseeing fields of tobacco, cotton, indigo. Like the time I took to smell the fleur-de-lis, poppies, roses, tulips, and violets, scents that travel to me to childhood, snuggled on mother's continent. I have these hands with brown rivers scripted in identified flesh, where north and south rivers mesh with the great seaway and empty out into the bay. I would not trade them for the skins of other lived things, and I will use them to hold my own on this native land, kept and broken, written and spoken, drummed and dance. I am whirling furor from black cowboy's lasso, a stampede after the rush, a fly in a pail of milk, the conductor of symphonies, wearing authentic gold medals and keeping it real like McCoy. I am dropped gloves off high-scoring hands, boxing jabs and feather pens, ceremonial swords of pioneers, loaded African rifles. I am clenched fists of short-lived sprinters, the mad dash of hyphenated tales, Afro, Caribbean, and more, a free African on Canadian shores of the great black north. Proud I am. Love and respect to Scruff Mouth. So yeah, as I said, all these hyphens to describe a community of people. I hope that people feel included as opposed to excluded. And because I'm in the book, I have to read the poem that I wrote that made it into the book. I've been a writer ever since I was a child. I've been a musician ever since I was a little kid. I'm a mediocre musician. I'm an okay musician. I'm not, there's a lot of musicians that I know that are way, way better than me. But as a person that understands music and as a person that plays music, I find that it really helps me connect to other people and especially other musicians. And although I love doing poetry a cappella, I also love performing music. And I wish I was a better musician. That's why I try to practice. And I play guitar, I play bass, I play djembe, I can play a standard drum kit. And then about a decade ago, maybe even longer than that, I developed a saxophone fetish. Because ever since grade school, I wanted to play the saxophone, but I never had the opportunity to learn. And I got my hands on a saxophone, and then I got another saxophone. And I am aware that I'm not awesome. I'm okay. I'm mediocre. I'm okay. I can carry a tune. And as a musician, I kind of don't care how bad it sounds to other people. It feels fantastic, especially when you play a saxophone. It feels like the vibrations and the connection to, 120 years of history of this instrument and all the kind of like oppression that people had to go through in order to be musicians. People didn't want them to play. People didn't want them to practice. People didn't want them to get paid and make money. And I find it just super joyful to, for 45 minutes to an hour to play the saxophone. And I ended up writing a poem about what it feels like to play the sax, about what I think about when I'm playing the sax. And I put it in the book, The Great Black North. The poem is called Ursula, and it's kind of dedicated to Ursula Rucker because Ursula Rucker came to Ottawa a few years ago and did a poetry workshop, And I'd been thinking about this poem, but I actually wrote it in that workshop, so I titled it Ursula. He wails. Again and again and again, day after day after day, that thief on the corner has stolen a lifestyle that was never meant for him. He stands proudly, defiantly, openly, arrogantly on his urban garden balcony, surrounded by high-rise and condo and glass and concrete. This contradiction, this anomaly, he wails. Disrupting the pristine precision and the facade of high-end property in the midst of diplomats and ambassadors and embassies, with audacity he stands unabashedly. He plays flagrantly and growls dastardly, labeled as disruptive and obscene. That messenger that blasts sound to the sky above, he wails. He ascends and descends that pentatonic scale, and inevitably, the perfect intonation, that meticulous melody of the internal exacting metronome, fails. He rips the steadiness of sound. He blows solar flares into the clouds and shatters the sky. He wails. Like the revelations that John said, he wails. Like the bagpipes at the grave site of the setting of the sun, he wails. Breathing deep and roaring proud, like a giant making his declarations, he wails. Shirtless like Kuti rallying for revolution, he wails. Like a mother wolf who by the full moon searches for lost cub, he wails. Like Hendrix riding the feedback from the Marshall Greenback stacks, the delayed distortion of a crybaby phasing in a fuzzbox, he wails. Like Marley crying tribal to the people, he wails. The vibrato can be felt across the street, down the block, across the pedestrian bridge, and echoes into the canal. He bounces sound up and down the bland facings of his towering neighbors. He splatters them with noise graffiti. He wails. His hands curl like claws and clack the keys with the secrets of circular breathing. He takes no breath. He has no pause. The brass bell expands and gets hot. He wails. Louder than the church bells at a wedding, he wails. Louder than the Parliament's buildings' midnight ringing, he wails. More shrill than the police sirens screaming in the evening, he wails. Against the subtle, muffled sobbing of lovers lost at night in the streets of Venice, that maze of endless cobblestones and canals, streets unlabeled and shrouded in shadows, the endless labyrinth of streets too narrow to even be alleyways. But there are boats on the Grand Canal that are calling their way from the distance, beyond the churches and the museums, that echo that rolls like laughing thunder, he wails. It screams out against the silence of a sleepy city. It is the opposite of a lullaby. It rattles the ears and invades the brain and shakes the heart, a piercing frequency. When you hear it, you can see it. From the blinding bright spot of the sparks of brakes dulling the rails of the train, the one that arrives only to take your lover away, he wails and suddenly stops. That moment when all hope is lost, when our loved ones have been put on ships and finally disappear at the vanishing point upon the horizon, the mast, the stem, the sails, he puts her down and speaks her name. He wails. Thanks for those effects, man. That was dope. That was dope. So love and respect to Valerie Mason John and Scruffmouth and everyone that contributed to the Great Black North, contemporary African Canadian poetry. Go to your local library and see if you can get a copy. Google it and find the publisher and get a copy. Ask your teachers and your professors to find out what this book is really all about and why it's so important. And I would like to once again congratulate everyone that contributed to the book and made history. It's something, you know what I mean? That's really something pretty fantastic. So as a spoken word artist, I'm supposed to perform and run around and jump around and get off the stool. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be just a couple of seconds, but we're going to move into the next kind of phase, I guess, of the presentation. I hope everyone's having a great Black History Month. In Ottawa, we just kind of finished with our lockdown. So I kind of need to unlock myself and get some poetry on. Yo, what's good, what's good? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm John Akpata. We're going to continue on with the presentation. May you live in interesting times, I suppose, and embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Prepare for panic and embrace the endemic. I say embrace the endemic. Prepare for panic. Embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Prepare for panic and embrace the endemic. Embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Prepare for panic and embrace the endemic. Did you see what they did? Did you see what they did in the States? Did you see what they did with their flags and their guns and their boots and their gloves and their backpacks and their helmets and their zip ties and their gas masks? Did you see what they did with their flags? Did you see what they did? They beat a police officer to death. They kicked open the gates. They kicked open the doors. They smashed open the windows. They screamed, "Hang the vice president." They screamed, "Where is the Speaker of the House?" They're the greatest threat to democracy that country has ever seen, and no one that participated in that fuckery looked like me. We've been telling you for years that there's corrupt cops, corrupt military, corrupt politicians within the government that are terrorists, that are white supremacists, that are white nationalists, and they're not coming after us anymore. When these poor white folks and these middle-class white folks and these rich white folks figure out that the government is fucking them over harder than the black community ever could, we told you for hundreds of years they're going to come after you, and they're not going to come after us. And when they stormed the Capitol building, when they bust into the chambers of the lawmakers, they didn't have a plan, they didn't have a manifesto, they didn't have a list of demands, they didn't have a 10-point plan. They smeared the halls of legislation with shit because they had their shit together. They were in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. They did exactly what they wanted to do. And no one really stopped them. It's not white privilege. It's not terrorism. It's just the way that it is. And they didn't make any speeches, and they didn't make any proclamations. They just smeared the halls of legislation with shit. Because they're full of shit. But they had their shit together. They were in exactly the right place at the right time. They had insiders help them. They had power structure help them. Rich people got on their private jets and flew to the Capitol to storm the building. I hope somebody makes a movie. I hope Quentin Tarantino and Steven Spielberg can get together with Disney and Lucasfilm and make some sort of kind of like gangster, behind-the-scenes, Martin Scorsese kind of movie. Make it sexy. Put some Rolling Stones and some Guns N' Roses in the soundtrack. Make it cool. Make it the ultimate American movie. They had no plan. They had no list of demands. No one made a speech. They don't have a breakfast program. I don't know if I can take them seriously because all they did was piss all over everything and smear the walls with shit. But they had their shit together. They were in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. So whether you like it or not, you kind of have to take them seriously. Some funny shit. Oh, man. May you live in interesting times. Embrace the pandemic. Embrace the pandemic. Prepare for panic. And embrace the endemic. You know, people say that 2020 was the worst year of their life, and it was the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And, you know, it's the most horrific, terrible thing that's ever happened to them. In the history of mankind is the worst year ever. It's unbelievable that these things are happening. And for me, 2020 started out with a milestone in my life and 2020 ended with an experience that I've never had before in my life. So January 31st, 2020, my mother passed away. And I never thought that she would ever die. When I was a little boy, I never thought of my mom growing old. And in my lifetime, from the time I was a little boy until the time I grew up and became a man, my mom grew old and then passed into spirit. And she had been ready to go home for a long time. And I had the opportunity to take my mom to Guyana in 2014. That's where she was born, Georgetown. And I'd never been there, and she hadn't been there in 54 years. So it was kind of a trip of a lifetime that I got to take my mom home. And when we went home, we were walking along the seawall, and my mom said to me, "You know, I'm not going to be here forever, son. I'm getting old, and I'm going to go soon." And I said, "Oh, Mom, don't talk like that. You know, you're going to be here forever. Don't even, why are you telling me these things?" And she said, "When it's time for me to go, don't try to hold on to me. Let me go like a wave in a storm in the ocean. Let me go." So I feel a great amount of comfort that my mom told me that, because when my mom passed, the family came together. She was surrounded by her loved ones. The last thing that happened was me, my brother, and my sister were alone with my mom, and we had a good hard laugh. And it's just like that Bob Marley song, "One bright morning when my work is done, I'm gonna fly away home." And my mom peaced out early in the morning, like just as the sun was rising. So it wasn't a tragic, horrible, sad thing. It was something that just a little bit of poetry from my mom prepared me for. And my mom taught me how to read and write. My mom taught me how to skate. My mom gave me a guitar. When I came home with black eyes from bullies, my mom never gave me any grief. She just said, "You shouldn't be afraid of them." That's it. And my mom has been my best friend and my biggest supporter my whole life. So I have written a poem for my mom, and I'm going to share that now. So 2021 started with the passing of my mom. 2020 started with the passing of my mom. And 2020 ended with me being very sick, being very ill. I had like a digestive problem, and it wouldn't go away. And I lost a ton of weight, and I felt weak, and I felt like no energy. And I kind of got scared. And then in the midst of all this, I had to move. So some friends of mine came by my place like army ants and packed up all my stuff and moved it out and moved me into my new place. So now that 2021 is here, I feel like I'm in a new place, a new space. I feel energized. I feel positive. I got a good outlook on 2021. I've got albums in the can that I need to finish and release. I've got videos that I've created and want to release, outlined anyway, and need to film them and release them. And 2021 is going to be a year of a lot of work. It's the year of the ox. So hopefully people do a lot of work, and hopefully, you know, people have a good relationship with their parents. You know, your parents take care of you, and then you take care of your parents. My mom always took care of me, and I got a decent poem from my mom and her sister that I'm going to share now. So many people doing evil because they sold off their soul, but John Akpata is a man that devil never control, because me not care about a mortgage or a cellular phone. Me just a humble man living in me righteous home, and me know the devil never cross the threshold of me door. Him know the John Akpata can't be tempted. No, me never wear a diamond, and me never dig for gold, because me ancestors are slaughtered for it, so I am shown. And me know a man is never measured by what he owned, but respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. A man's respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. A man's respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. Some of me sacred family into slavery was sold. Me was a Hindu seeking peace a couple lifetimes ago, but me snatch up, pack up, wrapped up to Barbados, me throne to escape the slavery down to Guyana, me row, and me all become a victim of the queen on her throne. She steal me bauxite and me precious cane and come back for more. The ground she rip up and she pick up me diamond named Hope, and she bring it back to Europe for a blessing from the Pope. With the shackles of the poverty, most people can't cope, so me mommy moved to Canada, and now me call it home. And glad for me she never meet that madman Jim Jones, and glad for me she never meet that bad man Jim Jones, and glad for me never meet that madman Jim Jones, that bad man Jim Jones, that sad man Jim Jones. Some people evil, don't you know? Like in America, racism there is big, bad, and bold. Strange fruit is all around the South land I am shown, and their president is burning crosses like days of old. The economic bet was human flesh is worth more than gold. We picked the cotton, built the streets, and we lay the railroad. But the truth and history about us never get known, so we must educate our children from the day they is born about the ships, the chains, the locks, the whips, and what is Jim Crow. And you know the true meaning of hip-hop. I said the true meaning of hip-hop. They say the true meaning of hip-hop is Underground Railroad, because education lead to freedom of mind, body, and soul. Now a free man's time to try is in the new millennium, and a good man's time to rise is in the new millennium, and the black man's time to thrive is in the new millennium. But we got to pray for peace in the new millennium, and all the bombs got to cease in the new millennium, because God broke the seventh seal for the new millennium, the new millennium, the new millennium, the new millennium. Apocalypse or salvation, apocalypse or salvation, apocalypse or salvation, apocalypse or salvation. Revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution, evolution, revolution. But me just living up in Ottawa, the land of ice and cold, so me drive off to Quebec and me bring me snowboard on the lift with dreadlock Betty's rolling up some big cones. Now me feeling blessed, so into the half pipe me go. Me mommy name me properly, of that I am sure. I can feel Allah, Buddha, and Jah just singing in me soul. Akpata's playing drums and some skeets with saxophones. Now McCaney and a Meisner mark me family globe. And when me pick up me guitar, they chanting, go, Johnny, go. Me shine a little bit of happiness straight into your soul. Just a little bit of happiness straight into your soul. Me shine a little bit of happiness straight into your soul. The path to afterlife is kept alive in your soul, and you're judged on your soul. So many people doing evil because they sold off their soul, but John Akpata is a man the devil never control, because me not care about a mortgage or a cellular phone. Me just a humble man living in me righteous home, and me know the devil never cross the threshold of me door. Him know the John Akpata can't be fucked with. Hell no. Me never wear a diamond, and me never dig for gold, cause me ancestors are slaughtered for it, so I am shown. And me know a man is never measured by what he own, but respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. A man's respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. A man's respected for the knowledge kept alive in his soul. The path to afterlife is kept alive in your soul, and you're judged on your soul. Don't ever sell off your soul. Take care of your soul and guard your soul. Love you, Mom. All right. We've got time for just one more. I don't want to go over schedule. They're running a tight ship here. I'd like to thank the Afro-Black Community Cultural Center for having the Ottawa Black History Music Festival. So hopefully, this is a history-making event as well, a groundbreaking event. I think tomorrow is the last day of a 2-week festival that's been pretty successful. We want to thank the sound and the video crew for all the work they're doing. Makes me feel like I'm in the future. It's really, really cool. So as I said before, I'm an okay musician. I'm not a great musician, but I'm a capable musician. And like I also said, maybe I didn't say it before, but one thing that I always try to do when I perform as a poet is I try to find some musician that's just around and say, okay, on the very last track, you're going to get on stage with me, and we're just going to do a piece and see what happens. So I'm very thrilled and very honored that the creator of the festival and the creator of the Cultural Center, Wise Atangana, is here, and he's going to play percussion for me. And we have not rehearsed this, have we? We've not rehearsed it. We haven't even talked about it. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give Wise some time to get started and make a beat, and then I'm going to jump in, and we'll see what happens. Should be good. I wish I had a shaker. order to achieve perfection, one must have a foundation just like a mountain. One must learn direction and one must know the way. One must have freedom from baseness, as ignorance, the road to hell, and enlightenment, the path to heaven, are eternally unified. Therefore, the only way to achieve peace and happiness is through meditation and prayer. Through meditation and prayer. So, every single day, when my eyes open and my soul awakes, before I step out on my way, before I eat, before I pray, so I maintain a peaceful state, my consciousness I elevate, I channel energy, and I create, 'cause I take the time to meditate. Planet Earth is where I habitate. 2021 emergency state where Satan tries to inculcate his wicked ways and deviate me from my path, which keeps me free. I won't be deceived by what I see. I seek higher divinity, true power that resides in me. Success is my destiny, so you see no restlessness in me, with a confidence that you cannot shake, 'cause I take the time to meditate. And don't you take my kindness for weakness, 'cause Babylon will always attempt to deceive us. They lie to us, brainwash us, and lead us to the same people who crucified Jesus. But I shall never be afraid. I train and relax my brain. I keep my heart rate about 78. Positivity with no debate. I rise above the war and hate. My Rasta soul they cannot break. The dark valleys I always navigate. With a balanced mind, reason resonates. 'Cause I take the time to meditate. I said I make the time to meditate. You better take some time to meditate. You better make that time to meditate. Yes, I meditate, blood circulates, heart and brain communicate. My soul, you know, it transmigrates its frequencies that resonate from the center. That creates all that exists in a physical state, all that exists in a spiritual plane. In my heart, in my brain, interest rate, slavery state, bank rate, control, deflate, life estate to welfare state. You can't afford to procreate, just tolerate this police state, tailgate, profile your license plate, premeditate and fabricate. They want you to lie down prostrate. When they move freight, they always skate. The man of crime rate, RNA. I conjugate and disseminate that raw truth that precipitates from Babylon, which desecrates who was in the first place. I'm conscious like the king of Kuwait. If you blaze me, you better not be a lightweight. Always roll at an even gate. Patience is a noble trait. On judgment day, there's no rain date. When the ruler speaks, when the ruler speaks, when the ruler speaks, when the ruler speaks, what predates dictates. Double-edged sword penetrate chest plates. Good vibes translate. My soul elates, 'cause I take the time to meditate. I make the time to meditate. I take the time to meditate. I make the time to meditate. Every person in every place, if they could have things their own way, they'd have no conflict in their day, just food, water, rest and play, a safe home and safe place for seeds to be raised. But planet Earth is not that way these days. Big moves is what we have to make. A paradigm shift is what it takes. When the pressure's on, you better concentrate. When you make your move, you better contemplate. You are resigned to your own fate. Ancestors keep the record straight. When my soul is weary, I clean the slate and I take the time to meditate. Happy 2021, Ottawa. Happy 2021, YouTube. Happy Black History Month, Ottawa. Happy Black History Month, YouTube. Love and respect to Atangana, who is the creator and the director for everything and put it all together. We hope that we've made history this year, and we hope that we're going to see you again next year. I'm John Akpata. You can find me on the internet. I've done all sorts of crazy things. If you really want to support a brother, go to Bandcamp and buy my live CD, Live from Mercury. It's probably the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. And reach out to the artists and the poets and the musicians that you know and get them into your studios so they can create and produce. 2021 is a year of doing work, so we got a lot of work to do. Once again, love and respect to Atangana. I'm John Akpata. We'll see you soon. Peace.
And we are back. That was awesome. John, you just did that up. For those of you who are just joining in, if you missed out on what just happened, Wise was on the drums and John was here and he freestyled off the top of his head.
No, that was not a freestyle.
You wrote that.
That was a written piece that I'd memorized. The other piece that I did was a written piece that I memorized. The freestyle was what I said about what happened in the States. That was just off the top of the dome. So I like doing that on a performance. I like just kind of doing kind of a rant and sliding it in the middle, trying to trick everybody and think that it's poetry. But it's a good opportunity for me to kind of get stuff off my chest and see how things flow and see how things feel. But with regards to the performance with Wise, like, I didn't tell him what the poem was. I didn't tell him what the content was. I just said, I'm going to get you to perform with the last one and we'll do it. And I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. It's a great thrill. And I think it keeps me kind of sharp as a performer to have, like, the lyrics don't change, but I kind of have to fit them into what's going on with the beat or the music that's being creative. And it's, in a small studio space where there's, just a handful of people, you want to give someone a performance that's, unique, and hopefully they can feel the energy.
Oh, definitely felt the energy.
It was a lot of fun.
I was in the back room, the stage room, waiting for you guys. What does Black History Month mean for you?
Oh man, it's kind of like I alluded to earlier, Black Freedom Month, Black Liberation Month, Black is Beautiful Month, Black Excellence Month, Black Create History Month, Black Know Your History Month, Black Love Yourself Month. I do love, I'm a student of history, so I do love history, and I love learning, like the first Black firefighter or the first Black nurse or the World War II veteran that you never heard of or the first Black astronaut, stuff like that. I love hearing those things, but what I take out of Black History Month is, as far as the transatlantic slave trade is concerned, about 1/3 of the slaves ran away and got away. About 1/3 of the slaves had violent uprisings, and that's how they won their freedom, with machetes and with fire and with poison and with ropes. People didn't give us freedom. Slavery didn't end because legislators said, well, it's immoral and it's a crime against humanity, so we have to stop. They were making a lot of money off of it. The church condoned it. Every religion has segments in their religion on how you can enslave people and why Black people should be enslaved. So when you study Black history, I'm hoping that people, yes, you need to learn about the transatlantic slave trade, but you also need to recognize and acknowledge that Black people won their freedom. It wasn't given. It wasn't even offered. It was demanded. And I hope that people can take that knowledge away with them through Black History Month, because Black History Month sometimes seems like a brainwashing camp where they say, you're Black, you used to be a slave, and that's all you're ever going to be is a slave. And that wasn't that long ago. So I hope that, Black people and everyone can realize, like, slavery, which was 400 years, had to end. And it ended because Black people took their own freedom and liberated themselves.
Amazing. Next up we have Wise, and he's going to be performing with us. You've seen him. He was hosting. He's not only hosting, he is the face behind this event. And we're going to be talking to him later on in the show to talk why do this during Black History Month, and why start a new community center here in the Capital's Nation. Don't go anywhere.
It's a dope
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Merci à tous les artistes qui ont performé sur cette scène. C'est un plaisir. Les mots me manquent pour signifier ce qui s'est passé. Il y a quelques mois, c'était juste un rêve. Et ce rêve est devenu une réalité. Aujourd'hui, on a eu plus de 30 artistes qui sont montés sur cette scène. Il y a ceux qui sont sur l'affiche, il y a ceux qui ne sont pas. Donc, what I want to say thank you very much. It was just a dream. The dream become true, a reality. Afro Black Cultural Center is a new thing in our community. It's a blessing. We had more than 30 artists performing here. It was a great opportunity. Everybody was paid. Everybody was happy. That's why we are here. Now I want to say thank you. To know my name, let's go for the first song. The first song will tell you who I am, why, et c'est quoi mon nom. Let's go. Yeah. C'est un remix. Huh. Yeah. My name is Atangana. Atangana. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. From Yaoundé. But now I'm from Canada. From Ottawa. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. From Yaoundé, but now I'm from Canada. From Ottawa. Yeah. From Ottawa. Moi je viens de Yaoundé. J'ai grandi dans une autre réalité. Une réalité qui m'a appris à dominer mes difficultés. Une réalité qui m'a appris à devenir fort et briller. Une réalité qui m'a bien appris à relever tous mes défis. Si je suis tombé, me relever. Sans réalité, appelle-moi qui je suis. My name is Atangana. Atangana. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. From Yaoundé, but now I'm from Canada. From Ottawa. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. From Yaoundé, but now I'm from Ottawa. From Canada. Yeah. From Ottawa. Dans mes aventures, la vie a fait de moi un dur à cuire. Dans mes aventures, je suis devenu un dur à cuire. Par nécessité, ok. Pour mon intégrité, je suis devenu le rappeur qui rappe avec le cœur, qui affronte toutes ses peurs, qui garde la bonne humeur, qui te ramène la bonne chaleur, qui frappe, qui n'a pas peur d'affronter ses douleurs. My name is Atangana. Atangana. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. From Yaoundé, but now I'm from Canada. From Ottawa. My name is Atangana. Atangana. I'm come from Cameroon. Yeah. From Yaoundé, but now I'm from Canada. Yeah. From Ottawa. Yeah. From Ottawa.
Atangana. Mixtape. Consistance. 2019.
Merci. My name is Atangana. Ça, c'est la chanson. C'est un plaisir d'être ici. You know, pour continuer, avant de continuer, today is a very special day. C'est un jour très spécial. C'est un jour très spécial pour nous d'être ici à Afro Black Cultural Center. Et aussi, pour moi aujourd'hui, je sais qu'il y a mon petit garçon Akiba qui me regarde à la maison. Il a 5 ans aujourd'hui. Joyeux anniversaire Akiba. Et Kaya, elle a 7 ans demain. Joyeux anniversaire, Kaya. On va chanter quelque chose pour vous. Voilà, say, you know, today is a special day. My little boy, Akiva, is having 5 years old today. And his sister have 7 years old tomorrow. Donc, on va chanter pour vous, Akiva. Joyeux... Ah, non, ça va. Joyeux anniversaire. Joyeux anniversaire. Joyeux anniversaire Akiba. Joyeux anniversaire Kaya. Je vous aime. Je sais que demain, après-demain, vous devenez un grand garçon, une grande fille. Donc, oui, Akiba Kaya, love you, joyeux anniversaire. À la maison, j'espère que tout se passe bien. OK. Let's go back to the show. You know, why is Atangana, Afro-Black Cultural Center? You know, it was a big motivation when, in July, when I saw George Floyd dying in front of everybody for nothing. Donc, ce que j'ai dit, pour moi, c'était une grande motivation quand j'ai vu George Floyd mourir devant tout le monde pour rien. Cela m'a fait penser 2 fois, cela m'a fait prendre une action. Cela m'a fait étudier. I start learning what systemic racism, how that impact, what the cause, what the solution. Donc vraiment, quand George Floyd il est mort, tout le monde, ça c'était le déclic dans ma tête. Et la prochaine chanson s'intitule Complexe d'infériorité. Inferiority complex. You know how systemic racism affect for some people. It make feel some people inferior. It make feel some people superior. Donc c'est ça, complexe d'infériorité de next song. Black matter, justice for peace. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Quand le sentiment d'infériorité est intensifié par le système et la société, les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, malé, blanc, le sentiment d'infériorité sont intensifiés par la pression de la société. C'est compliqué. Très très compliqué. C'est compliqué. Je te dis, il faut te surpasser quand le sentiment d'infériorité est intensifié par le système et la société. Les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Yeah, 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 yeah. Le complexe d'infériorité est un outil utilisé dans nos communautés pour inciter à la jalousie, à l'hypocrisie. Quand le sentiment d'infériorité est intensifié par le système et la société, les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Les rêves sont brisés, les cœurs tourmentés. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. La misère universelle, destruction spirituelle, le complexe d'infériorité, au fond, range de personnalité, un trouble fait pour ta paix intérieure. La conquête continue pour l'oppresseur, la majorité est assujettie, la minorité démystifie. Je reste bienveillant, je prends tout mon temps. fier et indulgent, valeureux combattant. Le complexe d'infériorité, au fond, nourrit ta pensée. Brisons les barrières prédéfinies. Sky is my limit, imagine à l'infini. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. À tous les complexés, le complexe d'infériorité. Le complexe d'infériorité, c'est un mal à supprimer en soi. Complexe d'infériorité. The next song, la prochaine chanson s'intitule Pascal Siakam. You know, Pascal Siakam is a Cameroonian superstar in Raptors. Donc, j'ai décidé de faire cette chanson pour Pascal Siakam. Vous savez, je pense que la fierté, célébrer la fierté des leaders de nos communautés, des personnes qui réussissent dans nos communautés, des personnes qui se démarquent, on mérite de leur célébrer. Donc, what I'm saying here, you know, I'm originally from Cameroon in Central Africa, and one of the best players in the Raptors. You know, Raptors win the first time the NBA, and you know, Pascal Siakam, he was one of the guy who did a lot of work with a lot of people, and I made that song pour l'honorer. Let's go, Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam. Let's go. Yeah. Raptor au Toronto, c'est Pascal Siakam, l'homme de l'ère de la NBA. C'est Pascal Siakam, le protégé de Drake. C'est Pascal Siakam, merci de nous faire rêver. Pascal Siakam, qui a changé l'histoire, c'est tellement visible et tout le monde peut le voir. Et maintenant tout le monde croit à Canada, Toronto, tu es devenu un roi. NBA State, on ne parle que de toi. Impossible n'est pas qu'à mais si tu ne savais pas, tu fais la fierté de la communauté. Ton nom à jamais reste aggravé. Raptor au Toronto, c'est Pascal Siakam, l'homme de l'heure de la NBA. C'est Pascal Siakam, le protégé de Drake. C'est Pascal Siakam, merci de nous faire rêver. Pascal Siakam, avec ton nom je me vante mon gars. Le monde entier ne parle que de toi. Qui aurait cru que je vais l'NBA et toi? Un NBA feront des exploits. Qui aurait cru que je vais l'NBA et toi? Un NBA feront des exploits. Ils sont très haut, le drapeau du bois. Merci, merci de nous faire rêver. Raptor Toronto, c'est Pascal Siakam, l'homme de l'ère de la NBA. C'est Pascal Siakam, le protégé de Drake. C'est Pascal Siakam, merci de nous faire rêver. Pascal Siakam, Pascal Siakam, c'est le Cameroun qui gagne, c'est le camarade qui gagne, c'est Raptors qui gagne, c'est Toronto qui gagne, c'est Drake qui gagne, c'est l'Afrique qui gagne. Pascal Siakam. Hey, merci, c'était pour remercier Pascal Siakam. This is my brother from Cameroon, and you know, I'm proud of him. That's why I wrote a song for him. Donc, je suis fier de lui et j'ai écrit un son pour lui. Parce qu'à travers lui, le Canada, pour la première fois, a rapporté. Yes! On va continuer. Je vais boire un peu d'eau. Moi. Why is Atangana? Je vais dire merci. I want to say thank you again. Thank you. Pendant 2 semaines, on a créé un festival. Et ce festival est devenu une réalité. Et ce festival va continuer. Il va devenir grand chaque année. Donc, I want to say thank you very much. We created a festival, Black History Month Music Art Festival, the first edition. We have the second edition. And every edition we go bigger and bigger. We'll bring black artists from all around the world here in Ottawa. Je te promets, je te le dis. Donc, I want to say thank you very much to Red Cross Canada, la Croix-Rouge canadienne, to believe in us, to support us, to help us to create impact in our community. Je vais dire merci à tous les volontaires. We had more than 30 volontaires, plus de 30 volontaires qui travaillent ici. À toute l'équipe technique, pour que vous voyez ces belles images à la maison. We have a whole crew working. We have all the media, all the community want to say thank you very much. We made history. On est en train d'écrire l'histoire. We are writing our history for the first time. This is a Black History Month, and we are here to write history, creating Afro-Black Cultural Center and Black History Month Music Art Festival. The dream become true. I want to say thank you for everybody. Some didn't believe, but that's okay too. You know, it's okay. If you don't believe, that give me strength. That make me think twice. I want to say even thank you for people who fighting against the vision, people who don't believe in us. And thank you to people who believes. Donc je vais dire merci aux gens qui ne croient pas en nous. Parce que croire en nous, vous nous donnez plus de force, plus d'énergie. Quand vous ne croyez pas en nous, vous nous donnez plus de détermination, plus de force, plus de connaissances. Et merci à ceux qui croient. Vous faites quelque chose que vous n'imaginez pas. Vous êtes en train d'ouvrir. You are opening a door for millions of people. You're creating opportunity for many people. I want to say thank you. Let's go for the next song. Le temps. Le temps est une mine d'or. Time is everything. Use your time wisely. Time is diamond. It's more than everything you can think. And everything, all the wealthy thing, everything starts here. And how you use your time. Le temps est une mine d'or. That's the next song. Yeah. Le temps est une mine d'or. Alors mon ami, fais-en bon usage. Le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps est une mine d'or. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps est une mine d'or. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Yeah, ouais, Atangana. Yep, check. La violence du vent n'enlève pas les taches d'un léopard qui fait un long voyage, prépare son sac avant le départ. L'argent, c'est la valeur que tu produis dans chaque heure. Le bonheur appartient à ceux qui s'élèvent au bonheur et tiennent les objectifs à cœur. Ceux qui mettent en place un plan et le suivent quotidiennement. Ceux qui gardent le contrôle sur l'avenir et le quotidien obtiennent des outils nécessaires pour se frayer un chemin. À force de persévérer, la vision finit par s'éclairer. Avant de te lancer, analyse la base des données. Le secret de la loi d'attraction, met l'imagination en action pour jouir de ta passion. En vérité, le secret de ton succès se trouve dans la gestion des 24 heures de la journée. Le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps est une mine d'or. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps est une mine d'or. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Plus tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Comme la profondeur de l'océan, entre-toi profondément pour devenir un géant. Entre la poule et l'œuf qui vient en premier, entreprendre mon destin mais priant. Longueur de journée j'ai beaucoup médité. Le mystère c'est ce que tu ne comprends pas mais tout est explicable. Crois-moi, la réflexion suivie par l'action, les premières marches vers le succès. Fais tout ce qui est possible et maintenant pas besoin d'être parfait. Ne te laisse pas embarquer par les mythes vendus par la majorité. Tout se passe maintenant, jette ton temps valablement. Si tu l'explores, je te le dis encore, ton temps est une mine d'or. Tu l'explores, autant tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Le temps est une mine d'or. Le temps est une mine d'or. Plus tu l'explores, plus tu bénéficies de ces trésors. Let's go for the next one time. Yeah, man. Dis-moi le secret du succès. Le secret, c'est le travail bien fait. Ta vie dose, mon ami, dis-moi le secret. Ta vie dose, mon ami, dis-moi le secret. Le secret du succès, c'est le travail bien fait. Dis-moi, yeah. Hey, voilà, tu cherches le bonheur, c'est simple si tu cherches le bonheur, remplis ton cœur de bonne humeur. Tu veux le vie en rose, tu veux à tout prix que ta vie dose. Tu as changé de quoi? Tu veux l'inspiration, lis un livre, roule un joint. Mais qu'est-ce que tu es devenu? Quelle est ta source de revenus? Mon ami, la vie c'est petit à petit, pas à pas comme l'oiseau qui tisse son nid. Tu veux le secret, la recette du succès? Réveille ton cerveau, ajoute la valeur à tous les niveaux. Marabout, même Hollywood, la vie est dynamique, cultive-toi. Mais le peu de connaissances que tu as en pratique, tu n'en verras aucun roi. Ok. Dis-moi. La recette du succès. Dis-moi le secret du succès. Mon ami, c'est le travail bien fait. Mon ami, yeah, pas de raccourci, yeah. Le passé est clair, l'avenir obscur. Fais tout ce que tu désires, le plus important. Assure, tous sont langue mais peu d'oreilles. Tu veux le secret pour te faire de l'oseille? Il suffit juste d'une idée, une idée bien visée. Malgré les millions d'idées qui traversent ta mémoire en une heure de journée. Tu veux vivre à 1000 à l'heure, tu as le cœur d'affronter tes peurs. Une bonne stratégie bien pensée t'aide à remporter la bataille. Le travers bien fait coûte que vaille. Aïe, surtout éloigne-toi des retrouvailles inutiles. Remplis ton calendrier, manie développe ton profil. Dis-moi. Yeah. C'est le travail. Hey mon ami, il faut Je reviens dans 1 minute. 1 minute. Come back.
Yeah. My people. Ensemble, main dans la main. Je dis non au racisme anti-noir. Together, let's stand up pour abolir le racisme. Together, let's stand up. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
À travers le pays et partout dans le monde, les communautés afro affrontent les impacts du racisme. La discrimination systémique et les préjugés inconscients abondent. Revenons sur terre pour apprécier la beauté de notre humanisme. Des images difficiles défilent à la télé. Faut pas fermer les yeux.
Merci. Thank you very much. This song, l'album que j'ai sorti, Black Lives Matter, Justice for Peace. Ça, c'était le titre phare de l'album. Justice for Peace. And this is every day, 7. Click. Yes, vous savez, on a la technique ici. Hein? Is that? On a eu un petit problème technique et c'est ça la technique quand on travaille, il y a des choses qui arrivent et puis on les améliore au fur et à mesure. Donc vraiment, c'était un plaisir d'être ici avec vous et d'avoir tout le support de la communauté que nous avons parce que c'était une première fois. Cette idée, ce projet a commencé comme une blague et beaucoup de gens se sont vraiment mis autour de cette idée pour rendre cette idée possible. Donc c'est vraiment, c'est quelque chose, je ne sais pas, j'ai pas vraiment les mots pour exprimer du plus profond de mon cœur la gratitude et comment vraiment je me sens heureux d'avoir cet espace pour notre communauté et d'avoir vraiment de voir comment la communauté se met autour pour supporter une initiative. Donc, je vais vous lire un petit poème, je vais vous lire quelques petits poèmes que j'ai faits pendant que la technique s'arrange. Ifan, it's okay now? Pendant que la technique s'arrange, je vais faire un petit poème qui parle de l'inclusion. Acceptons-nous tels que nous sommes, respectons-nous sans juger personne. You want to take something? Quickly, okay. Acceptons-nous sans juger personne, respectons-nous. Et on va faire cette chanson. On va faire. Acceptons-nous tels que nous sommes, respectons-nous sans juger personne. Ah, eh, ah, eh, eh, oh, oh, oh. Acceptons-nous tels que nous sommes, respectons-nous sans juger personne. La richesse cachée dans chaque culture complète une partie de l'histoire. Les humains s'affrontent pour rien à coup sûr. Acceptons-nous tels que nous sommes, respectons-nous sans juger personne. Au-delà de tout ce que nous pouvons, au-delà de tout ce que nous pouvons penser, nous sommes un. Nous sommes un, nous formons un. Acceptons-nous, sans se juger, respectons-nous, tel que la volonté le dit. Acceptons-nous, tel que nous sommes, respectons-nous, sans juger personne. Je vais vous jouer quelques rythmes camerounais. La vision de Afro Black Cultural Center. If it's okay? La vision de Afro Black Cultural Center. Afro Black Cultural Center, c'est un espace pour aider, pour rassembler la communauté, pour créer ensemble, pour collaborer, pour, à travers l'art, comment est-ce qu'on peut se prendre en charge, à travers l'art, comment on peut faire ce qu'on veut faire, à travers l'art, comment on peut déconstruire le racisme systémique, à travers l'art, comment on peut éduquer, à travers l'art, comment on peut encourager, à travers l'art, comment la prochaine génération, on peut vraiment l'inspirer à défier ces défis systémiques auxquels ils font face depuis leur naissance, depuis leur premier jour. Yes, what I'm saying here, the vision, the mission of Afro Black Cultural Center is white. Firstly, is to bring community together, is to create a space when people can collaborate, when people can create, where people can do what they want to do. That's the first thing with Afro Black Cultural Center. The second thing is how we can inspire youth to use art, creativity, to deconstruct all the stereotypes built around black people. Because, when you're black here, you're born in front of a barrier. Then with Afro Black Cultural Center, we need to use this space to create a positive vibes, to create a positive energy, positive dynamic in this city, dans cette cité. Donc, c'est vraiment, je vais dire merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup à toutes les personnes. Everybody. On a près de 100 personnes. Quand on regarde les gens avec qui on a contacté durant ce festival, on a été en contact avec beaucoup de personnes. Donc, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you to all the artists, tous les artistes qui ont répondu présent. All the artists who responded, we call them, we book them, ils ont dit présent, ils sont venus nous assister, ils ont dit oui. Donc, all the artists, I want to say thank you. This is your space. Bring ideas. We are here to build ideas. We are here to create a community. We are here to build ownership, something for us, for the next generation. We are here to create a positive dynamic in our society, in this community. That's why I stand up for. Donc, merci encore du plus profond de mon cœur. I'm very happy because for me it was just a dream, It was just a dream and now the dream is becoming reality. Et on a beaucoup de personnes et je vois déjà l'ouverture dans le futur, l'impact que cette vision, que cette initiative est en train de créer dans notre communauté. Donc, merci. Peut-être on va aller avec la dernière chanson. Evan, can you try the last system? Ne laisse personne marcher sur toi. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go there. Ça, c'est une chanson. Put a bit of pause. Man, pause. Baby, pause. Cette chanson, is to give you hope. Si tu es désespéré, si tu as essayé beaucoup de choses, ça n'a pas marché, this song is to create hope. Let's go. Yeah. De misère. Jamais. Je suis devenu désespéré. Si tu es vraiment désespéré, toi qui me parles bien de tout, c'est ma cité. Je viens te révéler, reste en vérité. Si t'as tout perdu, non, te décourage pas. Moi je viens te dire ici, putain, crois en toi. Le temps il est voulu, crois en toi. Moi je veux te dire, ne désespère pas. Si tu as tout misé, si tu as tout foiré, il faut toujours y croire. Yeah. J'ai tout misé, tout essayé. J'ai tout misé, jamais ne désespère pas. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Jamais ne désespère pas. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, relève-toi. Jamais ne désespère pas. Passe à l'action avec réflexion. Toi tu me dis comme ça, tellement d'ambition, tellement de réflexion, d'imagination. Tout ce que je viens te libérer en vérité, je viens te libérer, pas te parler. Même si moi je viens pour t'inspirer, crois bien en toi, c'est tout ce que je vais te dire. Ne désespère pas, si tu as tout misé, faut pas désespérer. Ya. J'ai tout misé, j'ai tout misé. Jamais, jamais, jamais ne désespère pas. Si tu tombes, hein, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, man, relève-toi. Si tu tombes, hein, relève-toi. Jamais, jamais, jamais ne désespère pas. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ah, ah. Jamais, jamais, jamais ne désespère pas. Ne désespère pas. Never give up. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. Afro Black Cultural Center was just a dream. Now a dream become true. We have a lot of work to do, but the first big step was done, like the big thing. Donc, I want to tell you, if you feel alone, si tu te sens seul, tu te sens désespéré, tu te sens découragé, never give up. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dream. Use your brain. Tu es possible, tu es capable, tu peux le faire. You are beautiful, you are powerful, you can do everything you want. Don't limit yourself. This is the message we have for you, for Black history. Black people, on a une histoire, un passé qui fait de nous des hommes et des femmes fortes, braves, même si on est discriminé de partout dans le monde. Mais on a un héritage. Un héritage. On doit être fier de cet héritage. C'est pour ça que j'aime l'idée de créer un festival, Black History Month Music Art Festival. C'est pour célébrer notre passé, pour célébrer notre histoire, pour célébrer notre culture, pour célébrer ce que nous avons de valeureux, pour célébrer notre savoir-faire. That's why we are here. That's why we are here. With art, creativity, you can heal yourself. Mental health, all that thing. No, you don't need medication for that. Dance, sing, be happy. Follow what you love. That's the key. That's the key for your non-medical plan for mental health. That's why this event, we did a lot of workshop about how you can use art, music, and creativity to bring peace in yourself, peace in your mind, in your body, in your soul. Ce que je suis en train de dire, la santé mentale et toutes ces choses qui font pression dans notre société. Tu peux, avec des pratiques artistiques chaque jour, chanter, danser, suivre les choses que tu aimes, t'apporteront la paix dans ton cœur et dans ton esprit. C'est pour ça que nous sommes ici. We love you. Don't want to say thank you very much. Thank you, Hot Shoot Production. You know, we have a beautiful image. There's a group of young people, young men and young lady who are behind all that thing you are seeing. Like they have, they don't even have 22 years old. They are very young, but they have talent. And we are here to empower them. We are here to give opportunity to youth, to give them space to experiment, to create. And everything you see here, we work with a lot of youth. And this is the mission of Afro Black Cultural Center, how we can help youth to be themselves, to be proud of themselves, to be good, to be great. Donc, thank you very much. If you are here, if you hear me, if you just come here, je m'appelle Wise Atangana. Wise Atangana, I love you. Let's go for the next song, for the last song, for the next thing. Yeah.
Ensemble dans la paix, le respect nous rendra heureux. Déracinons ces pièges. Et distraction de vivre le racisme aux toutes formes de Yeah, 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 yeah. The human are equal.
so wise. You have been really busy this month. You've been putting together this festival. And for those people who do not know, this is a 3-part festival. So the first part was the mental health piece that you did, and then you gave out food, and then now the music arts festival. You've been really busy. What made you decide to do this during the middle of a pandemic?
That's the question like everybody asking. And I don't think like there's not a better time to do to stand up for your life, for for yourself, and to stand up for what you believe in. Because me, when I saw, like I tell that all the time, when I saw George Floyd dying for nothing, and that gave me a lot of courage. Like, ça m'a donné beaucoup de courage, beaucoup de motivation à own my destiny, I own my skill, and I own my talent, and also try to create the voice, the space for the next generation. I'm a father, I have 2 kids, and I know they grow up here in Canada, they will face systemic barrier all their life, and I'm here to preparing them to be strong, to know where they come from, the valuable heritage they have in the back. And yes, that's why, that's all the motivation. And you say it wasn't during the pandemic, George Floyd died during the pandemic, and we did the album Justice for Speak Black Lives Matter. It was difficult. We started fundraising. It was difficult. A lot of people didn't believe in us. Some believed. And, we keep working. And we was lucky just at the, at the end of the year, Red Cross Canada decide to give us opportunity.
So this is also with Red Cross.
Red Cross. The Red Cross is one of the big donors, one of the big partners of this initiative, because, like I said, we told them like we can bring something new in the community. We can bring art to empower and to heal people. And the last month, we did a lot of great things because we touched more than 30 artists. We distribute food to more than 100 people, homeless, in Mission, Ottawa, Shepherd Hope. And yesterday we had here with 3 organizations, two Born Two More White, Ottawa Young Men Leaders, and different organizations. We give them a lot of things, masks, hand sanitizer, like all the health kits and food thing we had from Red Cross.
And so this Black History Month, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month, for me it means, is everything. It makes me think deeply. Like who I am, where I come from, like my background. Pour tous les gens qui ne comprennent pas le français, parce que je sais que on a un public très bilingue là, qui June, tu parles français aussi, non?
Un petit peu, oui. C'est pas beaucoup. Mais je peux demander une question en français. OK. OK. Pour Black History Month, qu'est-ce que ça devient pour toi pour dire ça c'est Black History Month?
Black History Month, c'est pour moi, c'est une histoire de courage. Parce que, black people was slave for 400 years, 500 years. Like many generations, people was living, they were slave, and that's for 400 years. Like,
tu peux dire en français,
OK, voilà.
Voilà,
ben c'est ça. Donc, les gens, les Noirs, ils ont été esclaves pendant 400 ans. Ça, c'est l'histoire. But for me, it's more than that because it's very powerful, Like, people was slave more than 500 years, and they delivered themselves. Like, they fight for the freedom. They didn't have, they fight for the freedom with the help of, some allies. Et puis, ils ont gagné la victoire. Donc, pour moi, c'est vraiment, c'est une histoire qui me fait penser, c'est une histoire de courage. When I think to Black History Month, I think to, like, c'est le courage, c'est la résilience, c'est la détermination, c'est vraiment la libération, c'est la liberté, c'est l'opportunité de devenir qui tu veux être. Parce que quand tu penses à nos gens, ils ont passé comme des siècles. Ils étaient incapables de faire ce qu'on fait. Moi, like I said, I grew up in Africa, in Cameroon. Is a little bit different because there we were facing colonization. You know, in America there was slavery. In Africa, there was colonization. But all that thing is like high oppression, you know, for people. Donc, quand je suis arrivé au Canada, I was trying to adjust like the two concepts, like how that affect people. Donc, c'est vraiment ça.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And through that, now you decided, okay, I'm here in Canada and I'm going to build a cultural center. I'm going to build the Afro-Black Cultural Center. And what can people find here at this space?
Yes, Afro-Black Cultural Center, like I said, the whole idea is like how we can create a space where people can create, collaborate, and where we can give a voice for youth, black youth, and all other youth. And yes, the next move here is like we will have a professional recording studio here, and we will have a professional video service here, and we will have a professional PR system promotion for artists, and we will have a space like mentorship program for youth. They're like we are just building. They're like we have
You're
a space
new.
now. Yes. And now we want to move for the next space. How we can have a professional recording studio here, and how we can have a, you know, live stream. It look very good at home. You can see that. Like how we can have that constantly here, and how we can help artists to promote themselves, to promote culture, to create opportunity.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for this event. Tomorrow is the last day.
Yeah.
We'll be giving out awards.
Yeah.
So there's a few people who've been nominated for getting some awards. We'll be giving that out tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow. This is the last show for tonight. Tomorrow is the last day.
Yeah.
So make sure you come and you tune in. Thank you so much, Wise.
Yes.
You are... you're a phenomenon because this is a 3-part event. Like I said, for those of you who are just tuning in, the first part was the mental health. Then you gave out food, and now the festival. So congratulations to you and your team, everybody who's working so diligently.
Thank you, you too. June, you work hard.
Thank you.
June was one of the person who was booking artists here, all the artists, like most of the 30 artists who was here. It was our good connection. Thank you, like I said, the whole team.
That's the whole team.
There was a lot of dedicated people who worked very hard to make that happen. Je suis vraiment très reconnaissant parce que c'est, there's pressure. Like when you do stuff like that, there's a lot of pressure. You know?
And it was your first time.
Yeah,
so for the first
il y a la
time.
pression du public, des gens avec l'équipe. There's a pressure everywhere, but we managed it. You know, donc c'est vraiment pour moi, c'est un grand merci. Donc je veux dire merci à tout le monde. Tomorrow we have Nambi, we have Jamal the poet.
Yes, just Jamal will be here.
Yeah. And we have some surprise, like we said, award winning.
Yes.
On va donner des prix à certains artistes.
C'est bon. À demain tout le monde. Bonne soirée.
Merci. À la prochaine. Bye bye.